the relationship goes through a phase where we mold each other to fit into the next, what is called, space we need to hold. Many family goes through this where, like, we fall out of love. What is love? Sometimes I don't even know what love is anymore, seriously, because I feel its neediness we equate with love. When we are younger, the sex becomes the drive in the relationship. When you grow older, it's not playing a part, but trust plays a part. But the trust also, like, is two-way. The thing is, like, I had to learn myself too. That's why I'm not telling you, like, to do something I haven't done. At some phase, your imagination of marriage is different from reality, right? Like, when I was younger, I used to think, oh, my husband used to love the path I'm walking. He's gonna worship me like queen and stuff. And, like, you wake up very shortly, like, within a month or so in the marriage, you say, oh my God, what a dumbass I was. But the thing is, the problem is not honoring, because honoring each other is human rights. Okay, marriage is about children. Do you have enough ability to give your daughter and your son? Your son right now also doesn't have a father figure, right?
But
Kind
not,
of.
not in him. But
Not
yeah.
in him, but like kind of he is providing for you, right? So are you willing to give that space of safety and security for your kids by being in a relationship that really is not wholesome for you? That is the place to get to. Is that possible for you?
Yeah, it's just it's not, because I tried to move past a lot of the stuff and tried to work with him and begged him to work with me, and it's just more.
So the next step is, what is custodially your responsibility with these two kids? Are you willing to go to court to get your right, or
Well,
do you
I
want to
have-
work outside of court?
No, I do have full custody of them both. So.
Both.
Yeah.
Even your daughter, he gave up custody?
Well, he just, on paper, we're not married.
I see. So you're like a common law wife.
Yeah, no, nothing. Nothing to him. We're not married.
How long have you been together?
Well, we've been together for 10 years, but he always uses different addresses, so.
So he's kind of homeless?
Yeah.
So
on paper, we've only been living together for 3 years, because like we were living together and he would always use his other grandmother's because he didn't want that, I think, to happen.
No, but like, who pays the rent and stuff? You or him?
He owns the house.
He owns the house. So you are the one who kind of is staying with him.
Yeah.
So the reason I'm bringing it up is essentially he doesn't have a responsibility, but he's like providing a shelter for you, right? So the next point to come to is, do you think you want him financially supporting your children?
Oh no, I mean, with Emma, I would need help with Emma, but he has no responsibility of Sean, which he's made clear. So, if I was on my own, yeah, I would expect him to help out with Emma. If I was on my own.
No, expecting to help is different from legally. Is he?
Yeah, he would.
Responsible?
Yeah, he's already in the child support system.
So like, you're going to get a little contribution. Now, on your own, would you be content and be able to move on if you move on?
Yeah, I mean, if I had some place that the only thing that is hard is like my family's house isn't much. It's not a healthy situation to go there.
So have you considered tiny houses?
I would go tomorrow. Yeah, I would go tomorrow if I had something that I could afford.
It will happen. The thing is, you need to figure out exactly why you're doing what you're doing. That's all.
Yeah.
See, for you to decide, like, there are a few factors you need to decide. First of all, are you honoring yourself by being in this relationship? You clearly answered no. Are you honoring your kids by being in the space? And you say maybe, maybe not. You're not sure. And third thing is he is not being faithful to you, which means he's violating your trust every time. And is that a healthy space to raise your kids?
No.
Maybe, maybe not. It all depends on your value system. If you value faithfulness as number one, then you have to move on. If you think that's not a big deal, it all depends on which rules you set for yourself.
It's just honesty and respect. You know, that's a really
See, respect is again like, you know.
What's meaning respect to me is just not doing something that's going to cause somebody.
See, the thing is,
Purposely.
I understand what you're saying. The problem is if you do not put it in even in your thought, what is respect to you, right? You put up with him being unfaithful, and that is violation of like a common relationship. So you don't care about that. Otherwise, he would have moved out long ago. So there are some things you are not clear about. So the first thing is to be clear about where exactly you need to hold yourself together. Like, so your value system you need to establish. This is okay, this is not okay. And then you need to work on it. So the first thing is to be clear about what you want. Money will fall into place. See, the money is not the issue. One of my friends, she was a single mother. She really wanted to move out. She was looking for a space. She went and did like a camp nursing position. You can look into that too. They gave her a space to stay. Her child was able to come, and she ended up like doing like 6 months in that, like, I think it's almost like a youth campsite or something where they train kids all year around. So for you being in some sort of professional, you can easily find jobs are not the thing that prevents you from moving. But there is a space in you that you are not sure. So you need to cut through and say, okay, where exactly is it that I find a value in this unity? See, there is something, in spite of all this complaint, it's fulfilling you. So or rather, you need to understand.
It feels like a place to stay. I just feel stuck.
So you feel stuck because you haven't figured out why you are not moving. The reason is there is some sort of a security you're gaining by being there. So what is that? You see, you yourself kind of said, I feel like like I have a place to stay. So you're using it, let's say, landlord tenant relationship, right? Like kind of like that, or whatever it is, some sort of arrangement you're having. So what is the give? What is the take? And sometimes in relationship you become the mother. So think of him as one of your child. So what it is, he's a dysfunctional child you're holding. So you need to figure out how much of it you can take, how much you cannot take, and what are your goals. How can you drop like a plan where he can babysit 2 days a week, you can babysit. You can even start from there. You wouldn't think he'll help you?
He has the week off. He hasn't done anything with them. And I begged him to take her for a ride the other day, and which I do all the time. He was dropping Sean off. It's just little things, He was dropping Sean off at his friend's house. Can I come for the ride? Because she hadn't seen him in 3 days. I mean, I had the kids out of the house for 3 days, and he's still acting like he just worked, again. And it's like, she wants to do something with you. You can't take her for the ride. It's like, even if it's just to give me the house for an hour, and I know it's not right, but somewhere in my head, I don't feel kind of guilty about staying there because, one, everything was handed to him. If he was this guy that worked his ass off to get everything and bought this house, it was an inheritance, and he couldn't keep the last inheritance because he couldn't afford it, so he sold that and lost all kinds of money. Spent $100,000 in a year. How? I don't know. Not even a year, 7 months, it's gone. See, but he had to, I know it's not right, but he literally does. He's from our whole relationship. He's in debt to me financially, just $20,000, and he was also taking rent from me for 2 years. I thought he was giving it to his grandmother, and he was keeping it. So I kind of feel like he owes me. I'm not saying it's okay, but he owes me.
No, he violated your trust. See, the problem is the minute you focus on him, you lost your power.
Yeah,
right?
I know.
So what? It's
that's
not about
to get away from it.
No, that's what. So it's not about whether right or wrong. The problem is you're not holding your power. So you need to bring back power position to you.
Yeah.
And the only way it will work is for you to understand what's okay, what's not okay. And for you, one of the thing is you can ask, since you paid that and he hasn't given it back, whether officially you can have a space of the house in the title as you, right? That's another option. So think of it like, drop a plan. Think of yourself. What is like the best plan for you? What is your exit strategy? And once you work through one piece, all the others will fall into place. The problem is the minute you think, oh, see, even with the ride, you're bringing up two issues. One is you want your daughter to have a ride, but at the same time, you want space for yourself, so you'll have 1 hour rest. Mixing those two emotions again is going to confuse you. So you need to be very specific. I need 1 hour rest, and I need you to take the daughter. It's different versus she hasn't seen you. Can you not? So what I'm saying is, come from a space you can set rules and then start building on them. Right? The minute you expect them like with like this wishy-washy thing, it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
So you need to say, okay, I need 1 hour break, otherwise I'm gonna fall apart. So this is the thing I want from you. Then he would came in or rather accept or deny, but at least you will have structure.
Yeah.
So you need to build something. So go to that space. And this week, on the 12th step is the 7th step we are starting July, which is humbly ask them to remove our shortcoming in 12th step program. This week meditation, which is my yoga, which I give out each week, is about making sacrifice. So you sacrifice a little piece to get the expansion space, enlightenment space in you, because by sacrificing, you expand you in the right direction, and you create that space you can grow. Because if you're holding on to four things that's not working, you have no way of expanding. So you need to let go maybe of two or maybe of three and grow the one space that you think you can build on. So that's what I want you to think about this week. Does it make sense to you?
Yeah. No, I know a lot of it is fear. It's
Fear
not
about
necessarily
what?
Just the I know that if I was independent with the kids, I would feel so much better in a lot of ways, and I'm sure it would help with a lot of the physical issues because I know the stress it's so bad.
What prevents
things it's so I always feel so heavy. It's like pain. It's just so heavy sometimes, and I know a lot of it. I might have a couple little medical issues, but I know that a lot of it is.
What is the fear? Unravel the fear for me.
Just not of losing it, of I don't know, I really don't I don't know. I'm usually I have this weird thing with change. There's a part of me that always kind of constantly wants it, and a part that's afraid of it.
What is it you want?
I just want to have I just want my own space with my kids.
And what are you
nobody
afraid
else
of?
Has. I don't know, just making the actual change. I mean, I know that I do want it. I know I want it. I'm just, or maybe that I have been, and maybe I'm kind of losing. That's where the frustration is kind of coming, because I think I am losing some of the fear that I have had. All the fears of, would I be doing the right thing? And blah, blah, blah. All those things from before are kind of falling. So it's been fear that's been holding me back. But now that I'm kind of losing all those fears, it's I feel like it's time, I got to do something, because I am letting go of a lot of things. And it's just taking that last jump of finalizing it all. And that's what's making it frustrating, because I feel I'm not afraid of, I think me thinking of him being with somebody else has no effect on me. a new relationship. You know, it's not having the house there, you know, with the pool and everything. It doesn't affect me anymore because I know that if the kids were in the right space, in the right environment, they'd be happier in a tent with me. If and I can make them happier, I would, what they, I know what they want is for me to be happy. And
So you're afraid of the change.
yeah, just the change. Even as much as I want it, I want it. And like I said, it's like it's just a weird place to be in because I've let go of all the other fears, things I was afraid of letting go of, or am I doing the right thing, or this or that, and was I right? You know, because for a long time, people, you know, again, him having me think I was crazy and really trying to think like, well, was I wrong? You know, and it's like, and I know beyond a doubt that I wasn't. So it's like I'm just very comfortable with knowing that it is the right thing, and just that who he is, and it's not even in a way of like putting him down, but just who he is. I can't change it, and he has not changed it, and I don't think he has any desire to. So I just know, and he'll be happier, you know, even if it's that he can find somebody that will buy into everything they have to say, whatever
It's
it is.
not about
I'm
him.
saying whatever it is. Yeah, I'm just saying. I know that. Well,
Don't bring him into the equation.
Yeah, just because I look at like my daughter. You know what I mean? It's like because I want her. I just want him to be good to her. That's all. Like, because his mother is very negative, you know, and just they fight like crazy, and I don't want him to carry that on when my daughter gets older, to think that, or have both of them think that's okay to act like that with her as she gets older, because it's not. And I don't want her to be that kind of person.
So let's
like,
get back to you. So one thing you're afraid was of change, but you've come very close now to making the decision. So one of the thing I did personally, right? I've been working on building this theme of helping spiritually. And at some point, it is not coming together. And this is really happening for me. So I finally decided, like, after listening to my personal mentor, he said, give it a deadline. He says, by this deadline, you haven't finished what you wanted. Make it all your old wishes redundant. Give yourself a new goal, new space to start. So I told myself, because the next full moon is July 9th. That's when he's starting his new agenda. From this full moon to next full moon, he's working with a group of people to build that space for them and to expand his teaching. So I really wanted to be part of that group, but I have found meantime my purpose is revealed to me, which is just to follow the yoga rather than the religion. So, but at the same time, I don't want to give, like how you said, what the right thing to do is. So I decided by July 8th, if things are not falling into place to do it the way the other group wants, I'm going to give up. And I am seeing, even though my teacher wrote to me saying, you go ahead and you work with me, the people directly who, like, it's like a pyramid system there. Even though he has given the permission, like have you heard the saying, even if God is willing, the priest closes the door or something like that?
Yeah.
Same thing is happening with me. The person who's supposed to be my mentor here said, he called me last night. He says he's going to put his foot down. Never he'll allow this unless I finish. He says there are some criteria I need to follow for him, which means I need to let somebody pay money to go visit him, like a marketing thing, which personally I don't feel I can really do, because I cannot force somebody to do something which I don't believe in. I love him. I went there because I wanted to go there, but I don't want somebody. I can only show them like 12 steps what I did. But it's like saying, oh, I went and rented this apartment. You have to rent, It's not going to work for me. So now that I heard, even though he wants me, time is not right, because the priest who he has is refusing the permission. And I'm good with it. It's all right. It's no problem. So I decided to make all my past wishes redundant. July 8th, I'm giving up on the dream and I'm moving on. And I have done my part, just like a marriage. We came together in the relationship, even though we agree. There are external factors that prevented me from moving forward. It's sometimes things fall apart. Like it's like when in the middle of the wedding, anybody had a
Yeah.
opinion,
Yeah.
you say it a lot, otherwise you shut your mouth forever.
Yeah.
So somebody called out our wedding, so to
Yeah.
speak.
Yeah.
And even though, and I know personally, I'm going to hold that space for him forever as a true guide for me. And I'm going to keep doing the yoga. And I'm good with it. And I'm so grateful it happened because now I don't need to focus on things that has to be done proper and stuff. So what I'm saying is, give it a deadline. Like I gave July 8th as a deadline. And I know for sure July 8th is tomorrow, right? If it doesn't come through by tomorrow, I'm going to move on. For you, you need to understand what is that deadline for you. So draw it because you need to put it in time. Okay, by blah blah date. So let's assume I'm going to make you at least think about it. So if you're going to pick a date that's going to be a deadline, for sure you want a sign from God. How many days it will be? Tell me. Because you have been talking about it for 4 months, right? Or 5 months or whatever.
Longer, yeah.
So what I'm saying is, draw it a line.
Yeah.
What it would be.
Yeah.
Is it tough to even come up with a date?
Yeah, and I think I just realized one of the other things that how you say you have to sacrifice something for whatever. I kind of feel like at this point, for me, I can't get my kids to understand. And it's like I feel like I'm in the spot that like I understand what they want because they tell me. And but I feel like that sometimes I feel like they would be, because first it was going to be till Sean finished school. And, at first he was making it like, oh, the pool was broken, we weren't going to be able to use it and this and that. And then all of a sudden it was fine. But I kind of almost feel like as though I'm making my kids make sacrifices, but they're sacrifices that I know that in the end they will be happy, but for them to lose. You know what I mean? To take them away from, I feel like a lot of me putting up with it and whatever, because now I'm like, okay, well, it's the summer, okay, I can deal with it so that they have this, and this. But I know that deep down, like my son even, especially, I know that he would be happier. But whenever I do mention, there's times that he says he doesn't want to be there and stuff. But then when I do talk to him, just about possibilities or what would he think if this ever happened, and because he's a very smart kid, he knows that we're not happy just by what he's witnessed. I don't confide in him with it. It's not like I put any pressure, because my mother did that to me. I would never do it to him, but he's very protective of me. He's seen the things that Mike has done just physically, that he should have never done. So Sean's already got this guard up against him and trying to protect me. But sometimes when I mention it, because he is still only 10, he's thinking, well, then I'm going to lose my pool. I'm going to lose this. I'm going to, lose all like the house and stuff like that. But then there's other times that he does realize that he'd be better off without it, And then Emma, I don't think she's still young. She's not really old enough that I don't think she'd really totally comprehend. She would understand, but she wouldn't. Not to the I just feel like I'm taking away from them.
Don't worry about all those are minor details. But what I'm asking you is, it doesn't matter. All that can play a part. But think of a date for sure you have to set as a decision making. And once you make the decision, you can push it back again.
Yeah.
Remember, I did July 8th. July 9th, I'm going forward with the one agenda to be part of this organization, working towards yoga for 1 year. I gave myself only 1 year commitment at a time. Same thing you need to understand. Just because you're making a deadline doesn't mean it's forever. You can do 1 year at a time. So what I'm saying is, or you can even till December, 2017. You have only 5 months left. So come up with the time and then work with it for 5 more months. Whether it's sacrifice or moving forward, it doesn't matter. The thing is, you need to make up your mind. So you're putting it away in the back burner, not let it destroy you.
Well, I guess the most, like something that I feel that is sort of naturally just, I mean, I could try to do things to make it faster, but I mean, and obviously getting it, I would have to get it, get a job. But I just, one of the big things I just look at when I can do my taxes, that's something that, I don't have to ask anybody for help, and that's kind of some type of breathing space, like, something that
So
I
you want to wait till tax year?
I mean, I would like to go sooner, but I mean, there are things that I'd have to do to even make taxes be there.
So would you think like by April next year you want to make the decision? Is that what you're telling me?
Or, I mean, honestly, I think the moment I got my taxes done, I'd be ready to do something.
When it would be?
At the end of January, I do my taxes right away.
So January of 2018, that's your deadline. So
Yeah.
can we
Yeah,
agree
absolutely.
on by January 2018 you're going to make up your mind, and by the time things have not gone the way it has gone, so you're giving yourself 5 months, at least it's a breathing space,
Yeah.
right? So work on each month, like little thing at a time. This week is about figuring out sacrifice. What are you willing to sacrifice in a relationship? Not sacrifice. And can we come up with like some rules? You can set it forward for this month, so that see whether it's being violated. So it will be like all you can take notes on. Okay, like in every week we are going to meditate, right? Every week I'll give you a meditation verse to focus on. So then let's build on it, and let's like keep a journal and see, tally it like in next 5 months. See, like, what was the pros, what was the con? So what you imagined as your fear, did it materialize? Was the sacrifice worth it? So this 5 months you sacrifice instead of sacrificing 18 years or whatever it is until your son graduates. That's a big breathing space for you, right? Meantime, you have told me you would love to do some art and you'll do garage sale. See whether it's buildable for you. Give yourself 5 months of your building space, okay? So you're sacrificing the personal space, but build your business space, build your career. See whether you can do Amazon, like, ship to store option, or like, do some jewelry models, like, showcase. So let's work on some pattern, like, so this week, think of like what would be the best thing you want to create. Create a catalog for me. Next week, come back and we'll talk. Okay?
Yeah.
Does it make sense?
Yeah.